Help! I have fallen and I can't get up.
Hold on, lady. Jay Thomas is on, and I need to know what's going on today. I'll be with you after the show. Now, where's that volume knob? I need to turn this thing up.
Oh, turn it way up. Way up.
And now, from a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma, nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty, it's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Well, thank you very much. There, Alex. Love it. Let's get some picking going. This is Kevin MacLeod. Still picking and some happy music. All right. Where did this go? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I have two things I want to do today. One of them is this one right up front here is AI. And I just came back from the dentist, and I still, like I said, I still have some Novocaine lip, but she was telling me that a guy was in, a salesman was in, and they wanted to do AI for their front desk. And they would manage calls, it would do all this great stuff. And it would also do the inspections and tell people what they needed. So she called and she asked one of her friends who has an AI thing. And he said, well, it was constantly overpriced. It was constantly pricing things that I wouldn't do. They were constantly looking at stuff and making people pay thousands of dollars more. And I actually lost customers. And I went, wow, that's pretty bad. So I wanted to, I don't like AI. I think it's good for some things. I think AI is good for switches and complicated things that need to be done in intervals and very, very quickly. And you can write these things like switch gear and stuff in your the grid and bunch of other stuff that it's going to be really good at, but personal, face-to-face things that people want done face-to-face is going to be lousy. And I was reading I was watching TV, and I was on HBO, and this show called The Chair Company is on. So I thought it was a little bit, I thought, well, that's interesting. I'll turn it on and see what it's about. And it's really interesting. Okay. It stars Tim Robinson as William Ronald Trosper, and he's a construction superintendent or project manager, and he has this big project, and he gets this awarded to him, and he goes to give a speech in front of the whole company, and afterwards he goes to sit down, and his chair breaks. And so they put it like this. This is how the show puts it. After an embarrassing incident at work, William Ronald Trosper finds himself investigating a far-reaching conspiracy. Well, really what it is that it first starts off, and he can't get a hold of anybody at this chair company he just wants to ask a few simple questions to an actual person. And he can't get a hold of anybody. He gets a hold of people, but they can't answer his question, and they send him to various things that just are just a dead end, and he gets frustrated, so it starts to ruin his life. But I don't want to spoil it, but it's actually a pretty funny show. But it reminded me of something I was actually doing that day. I was trying to get a hold of somebody at a company about something for the show. It was it, some equipment, and I kept getting Roy, their AI assistant, and I couldn't get past Roy to talk to anybody. And this has happened to me a few times. When I try to call somebody and talk to an actual person, because if you use the AI assistants online and you type something into it, inevitably you're not going to get the action you want out of your AI assistant. And being on the phone trying to talk to somebody on this company, I gave up. I just went to another company because Roy couldn't understand what I was saying to it. And it kept telling me to do things that didn't help it didn't help the issue at all. So this was AI, and I was just getting frustrated with it. It ruined my life, like the show, the chair company. But I think this is going to happen more and more. I think first of all, companies are going to overshoot on uh, on AI. They're going to use it for things like customer service, and people are just going to get ticked off. If you've ever called like Lowe's and you answer the little questions that press this button, you finally, okay, now I have to sit on hold for a little while. And then you get someone who answers the phone and they don't know about your question, but they put you on hold again. You'll never get your question answered. So you have to drive down to Lowe's, or it doesn't necessarily have to be Lowe's, any large company. And they're doing this more and more because they don't want to talk to you. You have an issue, and they're going to send you to Roy, or I had one that was called Abel. I was like, Abel? Yeah, my name is Abel, and I'm your AI assistant, and I speak several languages, and it's going on. And I'm like, all right, Abel, I want to do this. And Abel couldn't get me to the person that I wanted to talk to. Much like the series Chair Company, the Chair Company, I just hung up. And since I don't have a rotary phone that I can slam down like like a normal person, we have these cell phones now. You just get you get frustrated, so you start yelling. I mean, you can't bang your cell phone on the counter, but and I think this is what's going to happen with AI. People are going to come to not trust it, and the reason why is insurance companies, manufacturing companies, stores, anything that you're trying to do are going to have AI. They're going to have AI customer service things, and it's just going to be frustrating. So I'll give you an example. If you call Sam's Pharmacy, if you're a member of Sam's Pharmacy, call the pharmacy, and you're going to get the recording. It's that nice lady's voice, and she goes, "Tell me what you want to do. I'm so and so, and I can do many things, and we can get this." And you just want to talk to somebody. You want to talk to the pharmacist. You want to ask her a question real quick, like, "Hey, do I have this in my in my 400 prescriptions that I have with you? Do I have this one? Is this due yet?" And you just want to know something like that. So if you keep pressing 0, eventually the computer, it gets an attitude, and it goes, "All right, I'll send you over," and it gets an attitude. And it's like an AI attitude towards you. So I think this is going to happen with AI, and I think we're going to be missing a lot of it. A lot of the interaction. They're doing this. Um, they're doing this already with simple companies. Just imagine you trying to reach your insurance company for something, and that's what they're going to do. You're just going to be on this endless loop of crap that just like in the just like in the at the chair company where you just can't talk to anybody that's real or they can help you. So that's the first thing I want to say. I just don't think AI is going to be very helpful to people, and I really think it's it's it is really not it's not going to be good at first. People aren't going to get used to it. Not people my age anyway. When you used to be able to call and actually talk to somebody, ask them a question, get an answer, and move on. But no, you're going to be there for hours trying to figure out. It's going to be frustrating. So another thing, now this morning, I wanted to look this up because I want to give the here we go. I want to give Tulsa World, Steve Metzer at Tulsa World. I want to give him proper. I want to give him the proper I don't want to be wrong about this. Let's just put it like that. I want to make sure that I'm right. So here we go. Okay. So the headline in the Tulsa World is Tribal State Leaders Criticize Removal of MMIP Report from Justice Department Website. And what this is a missing and murdered indigenous people report from the Justice Department website. So, and if you go to the Justice Department website, I'm looking at it right now. Here it is: missing or murdered indigenous people. Right. So they took this report off of it, and I'm going to read this again. The Not One More report was a response to what the U.S. Interior Department previously described as a national crisis stemming from human trafficking, rape, murder, and other violent crimes that historically have disproportionately affected Native American communities. So I want to know why. I want to know why. Hold on. This has disproportionately affected Native American communities. Native American communities have their own police department. They have their own laws. They have their own jails. They do, and here in Oklahoma, because of the GERD Act, or the findings for in the Supreme Court, when the police arrest a tribal member, they have to get the tribe involved. So what they did is they took this report off the website. There's no link to it anymore, I guess. But however, the way that they write the story, they're saying that they took. It sounds like they're saying that they scrubbed the website of the MMIP website part, and they didn't. I got it right here. You can look it up. Just put in DOJ MMIP, and you'll get it. But the report apparently is a different thing. It's several pages. It looks like it's like 16, 20. Woo, goes down here several. I'm sorry. There's 212 pages. Most of these pages they have like subcommittee dates. Here's Appendix 5, list of the full commission subcommittee hearings. They got all sorts of just stuff on here. I don't think it really helps or hurts anything. The report itself, if this was the report, here's the hearings in the report. Here's a list of who does what. The report itself, I don't know, it doesn't seem to me to be anything that anybody's going to want to read. 212 pages of this report. And it is a here's the table of contents: honor, recognition, and dedication, executive summary, preamble, commission background, MMIP and HT cross-cutting findings. The subcommittee 1, it has findings A through I. Chapter 2. So I'm not. What good does the report do? If you are if you are trying to find these indigenous people, and that's another thing that bothers me. These, okay, they want to be called indigenous people, but they're people, and they need to be found or helped. And the people who did this to them need to go to jail, right? So you need to find the people that were raped, murdered, or missing, trafficked, and then you need to find the traffickers. And that's the most important thing, not this report, which I just don't see where the report is. Glossary of abbreviations. Well, there you go. There's something that helps out. I just don't see, if this is the report, if this is what's saying is missing, which is not missing, you can get it. If they got it, you can get it if you want it. But I don't see what is the point of the report. You still have the website. It's still up. It still has explanations. The Department of Justice is committed to addressing a persistent violence endured by Native American families and communities across the country, including by working with tribal nations to address important issues of murdered indigenous persons. Okay. If you're working with them within their system, I mean, it's mostly their system. I don't like. Here's quick links: report and identify missing persons. So missing children, other missing persons. Here's all these people. International parental kidnapping. I'm sorry. They have missing children. They have missing other missing persons. The VICAP, the violent. Okay, so what is missing that this needed to be front page news on the Tulsa World? To this report. This report is just you're not going to read this. You won't read this. And you can get it if you want it. You can probably order this report if you want the 212 pages of what the abbreviations are. Jurisdiction, criminal justice coordination. Okay. It's just page after page after page of. Imagine 212 pages of dense bureaucrat-ease language, and you just want to read it. So, and this was done November 1st, 2023. The funny thing is that that Trump did this during his first administration. Trump started this, and I remember it when they started saying that there's a lot of American Indians that were trafficked and missing and murdered. And he said, "Oh, we're going to do that. We're going to start making the FBI available in the Department of Justice available to Indian nations, tribes. So what happens? They have the Honorable Charles Schumer. Okay. And somehow Biden got on this, like right after he got into office, he got his name stuck on this. It's just so they took the report off, apparently, and if this is the report, if this is what I'm looking at, it's November 1st, 2023, not one more. Findings and recommendations of the Not Invisible Act Commission. If you want this commission report, you can get it. It's not secreted away. They didn't remove it. They didn't destroy it. But here's and I sent him an email and I asked him why he only has 2 Democrats. He only quotes 2 Democrats in this story. One is Ronald Stewart, and the other one is hold on, whoops, there she is. I'm sorry, Amanda Clinton. Well, that was easy. So State Rep Amanda Clinton and State Rep Ronald Stewart, both Democrats. They couldn't find a Republican, or they couldn't call and talk to the DOJ. And this is some of the language that they use. Okay, this idiot, Ronald Stewart, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he says this. MMIP is not DEI, MMIP is DOJ, Stewart said. It's public safety and it is justice. It is far too many cases, life and death. All right, here's the report. Here's 200 pages of gobbledygook that's not going to bring one person back. So why is that report that nobody is going to read ever important? Stewart co-authored House Bill 1137 this year to strengthen legislation passed in 2021 intended to promote coordination of these investigations. It was vetoed by Stitt, who said his veto message is that every victim of a crime, regardless of their race or background, should have their case investigated with equal attention and urgency, which is right, unless you just want special groups. I thought we couldn't have special groups. Why don't we have the MMBP, murdered and missing black people, MMWP, murdered and missing white people? You're never going to get that. Believe me. They would call you racist. But there's a lot of white people missing and murdered. Where are they? Well, that's just racist. Well, why is indigenous people, why is that not racist? I want these people found, and I want, what was this? I want these people found, and I want the people doing these bad things brought to justice. But this report is not going to move it one way or the other. It's stupid. And so they removed it, maybe to save, to put it somewhere else. I'm sure it's somewhere else. I'm telling you, it's not been removed. You can get it. So, see, here's another one. The legislature voted to override Stitt's veto. So, there you go. About 44% of American Indian and Alaska Native women become victims of rape at some point in their lives, according to the Centers for Disease Control. I tried to click on the report that says that, and I got blocked. It says it's not there. Homicide rates among American Indian and Alaska Native people in 23 were nearly 5 times higher than homicide rates for non-Hispanic white people. Well, what do you want? Should we kill more white people? Make it even? So said now Amanda Clinton D. Tulsa said the action to expunge the Not One More report from the Justice Department website is indicative of a long-standing failure of government to meet its treaty obligations with the tribes. Bull crap. I'm uh, I'm looking at, if this is the report that they are so hell bent on putting back online, which you can still get apparently because I got it. It's just 200 and some pages of just okay. Have you ever gone taking your kid to school and they give you the public school gives you the list of the rules and regulations of the school? That's what this is. It's 212 pages of it. It is a dense. Oh no. All right, here we go. Requirement number 4. Report on measures necessary to address and reduce violence against Indigenous women and girls. I just picked it. I went to a page and I opened it up. Mandate 15. Provide education on healthy relationships and consent to all students in Minnesota's K through 12 schools and tribal schools. The curriculum should be age appropriate, culturally responsive, trauma informed, and include topics such as inappropriate sexual contact, except if you're a teacher, apparently, intimate partner violence, and trafficking and sexual exploitation. That's mandate number 15. I just stopped at a page. And this is 200 pages of that gobbledygook. Blah, blah. I'll stop at another one. Here we go. Appendix 6. Appendix 6. State and MMIP Task Force Recommendations Summary, Colorado. Oh, it's state by state. SB 22-150- Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Bill Summary. An act requires the Department of Public Safety, quote, department, to improve the investigation of missing and murdered Indigenous relative cases and address injustice in the criminal justice system's response to cases of missing and murdered Indigenous relative cases. Whoa. Okay. So this is the report that they're all crying about. And let me tell you something. And again, the tribes have their own police department. They have their own investigators. They have their own court system. They have their own jails. They have their own family counseling. It's not that there isn't these things there, but somehow this report is going to make sure that all these things disappear. Okay, I wrote Mr. Metzer in at the. He hasn't written me back, of course. Probably not. He probably won't. At the Tulsa World, and I asked him why he only had two Democrats that he quoted on this. And if he ever gets back to me, I'm going to ask him. I have the report right here. Is this the report you're talking about? Because apparently it says this is a report, and I hit the link, and there it is. The other report I couldn't get. So if I have the report, I'm sure somebody else can get the report. I don't understand what the report is doing, what big deal is with the report. So that's just, two things today. AI in this thing, and I hate this because they continuously do this. Tulsa World is this is like, the Ken Burns. This is the Ken Burns reporting on this report, apparently. MMIP. I don't get it. I don't see where this report, this MMIP, the website's still there. The OJ website's still there. You can still go to see it. But apparently, this report, if it's not included on the website, apparently the whole system is going to fall apart, and nothing we do to help find these people and help solve these murders is ever going to take fruition, because we need this 212-page densely worded bureaucratic-ease report to make everything right. All right, that's my complaint about this. When I hear back from him, I'll hear back from him. I should call. Hear back from him and say, so what's the big deal on this? Why is this report so important? But I bet she doesn't have an answer. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 31 minutes. I've taken up enough of your time today. Again, and I keep forgetting to say this, but go on YouTube, subscribe, and like. Okay, and we'll get better and better as we go along. And just wait, we're gonna have call-in shows. We will have a call-in thing very, very soon. So.
Damn it, Dale. Jay Thomas is over. Now what am I going to do?
I don't know. Oh,